So look there.
Okay.
Tell the people, hey.
Am I on?
You on.
Come on in, chit chatters. How y'all doing? Hey. This is Sunday evening. Y'all know we got to have our chit chat before we go into our episode for this evening. I'm going to give you a minute to come in, and then I'm going to tell you who's sitting with me co-hosting this pre-chat show. So y'all come on in. Hey, Sean, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Hey, Sandra Lesueur. Sandra, you look like you've been having fun, girl. I've been watching you on social media. Hey, Vanna. Vanna's probably getting ready for full gospel. To go to New Orleans. So y'all come on in. Y'all make sure you share. Hey, Miss Laura. Hey, girl. Let's see who else I got here. Hey, Shalandra. Hey. Come on in because we got to chat a minute because, we got to get caught up with what's been going on this week. And how we got to talk about how we feel about what's been going on this week. So y'all come on in and we can have our chat. So y'all know Courtney is usually with me on Sundays, and it's his grandmother's 70th birthday. So he's hanging out with grandmother, and she had some surprise. They surprised her with some of her sisters, and so I was excited for grandmama. So that's where he is. So sitting in the co-pilot seat for our pre-chat is our cousin Terry Britt. Y'all welcome her to our pre-chat. Say hey to the chit-chat.
Hey, how you doing?
She's here from Dallas, Texas, and just came here for a little break. And listen, if you remember, Terry, you were on our show back in November of last year.
Right.
And it was a powerful episode.
Thank you.
It was entitled "I Survived." You remember? I know you do. You told your story, and you were very transparent about your story, and it blessed a lot of people. And so, if you didn't see that episode, you can go back because it is out there. It's out there, and you can go back and watch the episode the conversation I had with Terry. Talking about the survival of some traumatic things in her life and how God has just blessed you.
Thank you.
He just blessed you. I admire you. I really do for, one, being willing to tell your story, being transparent about your story, but also the transformation. Because I believe that transparency means nothing if you're not going to be transformed.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
And because everybody got a story.
Right.
And so, okay, we'll throw your story in, but the idea is to have transformation. And so, it was a wonderful testimony.
Thank you.
Shalandra saying, Terry, you had a great testimony.
Thank you so much.
And hey, Miss Pat.
Did you see Victoria said it's 2:30 in Greece, but she set her alarm 2:30 a.m.
Let me tell you about Victoria. Victoria is our number one fan.
Okay.
I mean, we got these folk that support us.
That's
They come on every Sunday evening. I love talking to them.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we're gonna have a get together at my house, y'all. I didn't forget. But Victoria is in Greece.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like across the world.
Right. Okay, Greece. Okay.
And
she's logging in. All right.
She set her clock for 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
That is something.
I'm telling you, I just love me some Victoria. But all of them are just wonderful. Miss Pat, Vanna, Sean Woods, Shalandra, they all meet us here.
That's good.
Every Sunday evening.
You're reaching a mighty crowd.
I'm telling you, Elisa, hey, Elisa Pittman. And so, y'all invite somebody in for the chat. So we're just gonna kind of catch up with what's going on this week. So you heard about the Russian, the WNBA,
right?
Brittany Griner. She got 10 years. Did you? Right. She got 10 years.
She faces up to 10 years.
Oh, she didn't. They haven't
sentence. She didn't sentence her. She pleaded guilty.
She pleaded guilty.
She faces up to 10 years.
So my question is, why would she plead guilty if she wasn't?
So from what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand,
Well, she was guilty.
well, yes, she was. They found it on her.
Oh, they found
It was a
Oh,
small
but it
amount
was a small amount.
of cash,
Okay.
but it was a small amount.
Mhm.
However, she pleaded guilty, from what I understand, under the guidance of her attorney, because to plead innocent was going to, one, drag this out, could have been a harsher sentence, but
Okay.
pleading guilty gets her this settled. And then, from what I understand, now y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all know I get on here talking and hadn't done my fact checking. All right. But our country will then negotiate. That's because that's really what Russia wants.
Oh, okay.
That's what Russia wants, is for us to negotiate, to give them one of their people
That we had.
that we had.
Wow. Okay.
Now this is
Okay,
what I
okay,
I
okay.
can't figure out.
Okay.
Brittany, why in the heck?
Why did you have that?
Why would you go to Russia?
Well,
With,
and why would you bring that to the airport?
but why would you go?
Dude.
When you go to Russia,
Yeah.
you better be spotless.
Listen.
Because
Right.
you want to get out of there.
Yeah. Right.
I
And
mean,
especially in that
that-
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
Russia,
right. And that's a communist already mindset thought.
absolutely ain't no
country,
freedom over there.
Yes, none. You see what they're going on with the war.
Right.
Right.
Right,
So
so,
why
right,
would Brittany?
right,
I
right.
mean, we all can have a lapse of judgment.
Right.
But what y'all think should? I mean, Carol, what were you thinking? Was she
put it like
that
this, she wasn't-
arrogant?
First, well, she probably thought she's a celebrity. She's a
Well, yeah, okay.
You know, and they can get away with what things that we couldn't get away with.
Mhm.
They're in their mindset.
Wow.
So here you
Yeah,
go.
Shalane
Yeah.
said it was definitely a forced guilty plea and it's
Right.
under duress. Right.
Right,
But
right.
but it's going to, she did that under, the guidance of her
Guidance,
attorneys.
right. She may not have done that on her own, thinking
Uh-huh.
that it was just gonna pan out.
Right.
Right.
Hey, Iffy. But do y'all think, I mean, what was she, do you go into, when I go anywhere out of the United States,
Out of Memphis.
I am trying to make sure that nothing hinders me from coming back.
Well, I tell you, coming to Memphis from the airport, I don't have anything on me. I mean, I'm literally like this. I got patted down, shoes
Oh,
off,
yeah, they ain't
patted,
playing with you.
everything. And I'm like, I'm just going, it's just an hour flight. And
Right.
you mean to tell me
Yeah,
I got to
no,
go
it
through
is.
all of that? So I can imagine
Yeah,
that, but she's not like I agree with Pastor Linda. She wasn't thinking.
she wasn't thinking. God
And,
bless
you
her.
know, she
God
wasn't thinking.
bless
So
her.
She was
just,
probably just trying to get out. 'Cause
Yeah.
That was when the war had started.
right.
And she was just
Right.
trying
And
to
I
get
get
out.
it. Right.
Yeah.
And Brittany,
But I would have just left it there.
Something.
Yeah, I would just, I'm not going to do
poured
that.
it out on my way
Wait,
or
or
something.
something. Yeah, I wouldn't have,
Dropping in the
broke
trash.
down
Drop
the
it,
ball.
trash. But Brittany,
Right,
we're praying
right.
for you. We're
Yeah,
praying for you
right,
because definitely,
right.
when you go to prison in other countries,
It is no joke.
It's no joke.
It's no joke.
And
It's no
so, yeah, Brittany, we are.
So they're speculating
uh-huh.
that she'll be a swap.
She'll
But
be
they
a swap.
hadn't.
joke. Will the government step in to make sure that
They're
happens?
trying.
They're trying
They're
to.
saying- they're
Her
saying
wife
so.
is in Washington.
Oh yeah, they
Everything,
trying.
okay.
Now they have said, and I think either she said it or somebody
If
said
it was
it
LeBron.
had been LeBron.
We would have got him
Oh,
there.
we
oh,
would've
yeah,
got
you
him.
would get-
Well,
oh, yeah.
Brittany, okay, but LeBron probably wouldn't have taken no
Right.
Right,
ash
right.
over there.
He would
All
have.
right.
He probably would have offered him something here.
Right.
So Nanny said she was packing in a
She was
hurry.
packing in a hurry. She accidentally put them in her luggage. Okay.
Right.
So y'all, we need to be careful. I use CBD
Mhm.
on my, I have ankle swelling.
Okay.
Now, but my CBD doesn't have any THC in it.
Okay.
But even with that, even though I can buy it right here in South Haven legally, I'm still careful with that
Okay.
because
okay.
you just don't ever know.
No, that's right.
And so I'm
Right.
not putting my
Mm-mm. You're not gonna put you
Mm-mm.
and anybody else in jeopardy.
no ma'am, no
Mm-hmm.
ma'am. So and let me see, I was going, hey Miss Doris Trotter, hey Nanny. I said Iffy, glad y'all are on. Okay, so now what else we need to talk about? Let's talk about this. Somebody I was gonna talk
The
about.
Japan Prime Minister.
Oh,
In the
yes.
middle of the night, we accidentally left the TV on. Usually I try to turn the TV off and go to bed. And I'm telling you, the news, it was breaking news that the
He was
prime
the
minister,
former prime
prime minister of Japan was assassinated.
Right. And I woke up with it because I normally look at my phone. And I was like, what happened to him?
I know. And what's interesting, God rest his soul, so I'm not saying it's not important that he lost his life,
Mhm.
but what really captured my attention was the fact that in Japan, they don't have any gun violence.
Right.
So like this
Okay,
was like
okay.
the fifth or sixth, fact check me, this
I'm
fifth
doing
or
it right now.
sixth
Right.
murder
Mhm.
of the year
Yeah. Right.
in Japan.
Mhm.
And here we are, it's happening every day,
Every day.
all day, through the
Twice
night.
a day.
Yeah.
Right.
These
right,
folks
right.
get killed,
right.
4 or 5 people at night, and I be saying, "Now, what are y'all at
Who does
night
this?
in the middle of the night that
How
y'all
they
get
not sleep?
killed?"
How they not sleep?
I don't know. I don't know. You need to get out.
But
these
that
streets.
happened the same. He got killed that Thursday,
Mhm.
Thursday or Friday, and
He
the
got killed
mass shooting.
Friday.
Okay, the mass shooting in South Africa.
Let me look that
Yeah,
up.
the
The
mass
South
shooting.
Africa.
Well-
It was killed. 14 people was killed,
Wow.
and I'm not for sure that it was at a church. I'm
It
not for
was
sure.
15 at a
Right.
bar.
In Africa.
In Africa. In South Africa.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
But did you fact check me on Japan? They don't have many gun shootings, violence at all.
Right.
It's only in the United States that we have such gun violence.
It's almost non-existent.
Almost non-existent.
Because
So that
the
was
gun
really-
laws over there, the guns
Right.
are not
Mhm.
so able to get. You don't get them just like that.
Yes, they
over
have
here.
the hardest gun law.
They have the
That's
hardest
right.
gun
Gun
laws,
laws.
but
That's
somebody
right.
got through the system.
That's it.
But
But
it
it was
really,
a makeshift gun, the way it
wow.
And it could be, yeah, right.
And so
right,
that
right.
just caught my attention. Hey Chelsea Carter, happy anniversary. Hey Natalie Downey. Let's see, Sean, I see you. We are praying for you, girl. We look in the name of Jesus. We speak over your body that you are healed and you're gonna come back and get on your feet and come on back.
So he did. He made the gun.
He
He
made
made
the
the
gun.
gun.
Wow. But yeah, all of that
See,
was
they don't have a lot of guns
Real
and stuff over there.
right. And then what was the thing this week about the guy that did the shooting in Chicago on the 4th of July?
They're dressed up like a woman.
But that was an easy arrest versus the young black guy that was stopped, I believe.
He was stopped. He was driving. They pulled him over. And they said he had a gun, but the gun was laying in the seat of the car. He got out. They loaded 90 rounds on him and shot him 60 times.
Lord have mercy.
And the white guy just took
And
him
it
right
was
off.
8 officers that did all of that shooting.
It took 8 officers,
8
for
officers
one man.
For one man.
All of them shooting.
And 90 rounds of ammo.
And you got to think
and-
about that. And you got to think about that.
He's been shot 60 times now. I'm not understanding because when they got him to the morgue, he was handcuffed to the back
Jesus.
and like.
And
Now, I'm
you
like
got to
this.
think about it. If 8 of us are standing here, I don't know if you've ever been to the gun range.
Oh yeah,
But it's loud.
it's loud,
right?
But you can just like
And
this.
so can you think about 8 people
Shoot.
who did not have, why didn't anybody have presence of mind to say, oh, I can stop shooting? Because shots are already been fired.
Right.
8 of us are
And you-
feeling that our lives are in jeopardy, that we've got to shoot
But that's
this
a
man.
real high power overkill.
Overkill, honey.
Overkill.
Overkill.
He wasn't
Overkill.
shooting bad. He
He
wasn't
couldn't.
doing anything.
I mean, he couldn't. I mean,
So,
you
but
moving
but
this
I
way.
I know, but even if he was,
Did
I
it
want
take
y'all
all
to
of us?
sit in the seat of the officers. If I'm shooting, 7 other people are shooting, the magnitude of that should have shook me to say, wait a minute, we don't need all of this.
Right. I would. Right.
When he went down, did he go down once? Who didn't see him going down?
Right.
The
That
moment-
felt
the-
like they had
Right.
to keep
And then
shooting.
you have to understand the kind of guns that they used.
Right.
Oh,
That's
my goodness.
another factor.
I'm just
Because if they use a high power gun, that is going to tear his skin up.
Apart.
I mean,
He's
I'm
literally
just like an
bursting
animal,
I'm not-
apart.
I'm
like
not-
an animal.
Right. And I'm not
Like an
right.
animal.
Right. And when my son was shot and killed, he was shot 5 times, and his body.
Was deteriorating.
Right,
Was messed
and
up.
that was just for like I think it was when I understand it was 22 or 38. His body was
Well,
mangled.
And
So
these
I
huge
can
guns that they're
imagine
using.
what his
absolutely.
body is looking like.
I
And then
mean,
his,
you know,
and
it's
then
just-
his family. That just all kind of crazy.
Yeah. So I
It's
mean,
all kind of crazy.
just it whose life was in that much jeopardy
Nobody.
that 8 police officers had to shoot a man 60 times?
And my thing is if he was going away, he was running.
Yeah.
He was running away. So he didn't. He
Not
didn't,
running at you.
Right. He didn't turn to shoot at you. He was running away. So,
That's something. I'm telling you.
and I
that
haven't
is
heard
something.
anything about whether any arrest being done with the
For the
police.
cops.
Yeah, I know they was all on paid leave.
On
Okay.
paid
All
leave.
right. Okay.
Well, okay.
Well, that's-
So in other news,
That's right. Let's bring it to
as
a
we are chatting, wait a minute, and before I go on, because y'all, we just chatting, we just talking about what we're talking about. Tonight's episode, Conversations with Linda,
Okay.
is with April Tober. And April is an entrepreneur here in
Okay.
Memphis,
Okay.
and she owns Gabby Grace Boutique,
Okay.
and it's an online boutique. And we didn't plan it this way, but every week we've got these entrepreneurial women
Mhm.
who are girl bosses. I mean, they are really doing it.
Okay.
And Gabby started out with, and you're going to hear her story on the episode of how she started really with the intent to sell children's clothes.
Okay. Okay.
And she'll tell how she ended up selling adult clothes. But she took a $50 investment, am I right? And made a 6-figure income.
Wow. Wow.
And
wow.
so she's bossing.
doing it.
I mean,
Okay.
she's really doing it.
Okay.
So I want you to watch her episode. And as I said, we didn't plan it this way for us to have, female after female, because I love to interview males as well. But it just kind of happened that way. And they're just some powerful
Well, maybe
women.
it's their season.
Absolutely. And they're rocking it. And I love these stories because I want people to be inspired.
Right.
Because, we see celebrities.
Right.
And, the Kim Kardashians and but these are everyday people like you and I, locals who are making decisions to step out there in faith and do and live out what's in them.
Right.
And they're doing it. So y'all make sure that you tune in after our pre-chat.
Sean said she has a lot of her clothes.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, and I love her clothes because she dresses for the classy woman. In other words, sometimes you can look at stuff and you're like, oh, I could never wear that, because it's so either revealing
Okay.
or so, whatever. But she has a more classy line, a more tailored line of clothes, and I love her clothes too. Hey, Brittany Blackledge. So
Isn't her baby the cutest?
just adorable. Look just like Brittany to me.
She does.
She looks just like Brittany. So, in other news, let's get back to news. I don't think last Sunday, did Courtney and I talk about, this was something I want to talk about, Creflo Dollar. Did we talk about that? So, did you hear
I
that?
heard a little bit about it.
Okay, so Creflo Dollar, you all know he has a ministry there in Atlanta, or right outside of Atlanta. And he has been known, kind of labeled as a prosperity preacher or whatever. And that's not my issue. But he came out, he was preaching or teaching or whatever in his church. But of course, he's streaming. He has a large following all over the world. And he comes out with this new revelation that tithing was we shouldn't be tithing, or let me say it this way, that we have taught them wrong. We have kept people in bondage as the church by making people tithe.
Wow.
And that,
wow.
and now I want y'all to know something, because I don't bash anybody, but here is my perspective on that, and I want y'all to share with me yours as well. Hey, Lisa Claiborne, I don't have a problem with you saying, you know what, I've been studying this out and I was wrong. If that's your thing, I don't think tithing is wrong. I'm a tither, right? God has truly blessed me in tithing. What I think is to then tell people to tear up all your books. Because, he's made a fortune on book sales and tapes and all of that. To throw all of that away.
Every book, every tape,
yeah.
every video.
And every video.
Pertaining to tithing?
I
or
have
just-
never did on the subject of tithing.
Throw it away. Now, here's my issue with that.
You done made the money now.
Give us our money back. if we sold into your ministry based on you blessing us with the word, we bought your tapes, we bought your books. Okay, let the consumer, these people that you are now saying throw your investment away, you then, sir, say, write me, contact my ministry, and we will refund. If you really care about the people who you feel you have misled in your teaching, then you need to refund them their money. I am not saying that you have not made money other ways. I understand he's a writer. I understand he has businesses and business. So I'm not hating on him for his wealth, right?
Right.
But I do feel it is very unfair and a slap in the face for you to just tell me to throw the product away that you stole me. Right.
That made you rich.
Yeah.
So
So
some parts of it.
But I mean, if you're really sincere, Creflo, I ain't hating on you or nothing like that. But I just think that
He gonna return that jet.
I don't know how he got his jet. I try to stay out of, folks' financial business. But what I'm just saying, if you're sincere about it,
Do it
now
all
I don't
the way.
agree with you that tithing, and I can go through this word and show you about tithing. So
I'm a little off with that, because if the preachers and pastors is hearing that and they stand on the word of God, I don't care how he made it. I think it's very hypocritical, very damaging in a spiritual sense, that you would talk against something that is known. It's there. It's black and white. And then, I'm very leery, because he's going to piggyback on something else that he don't believe in, and you feed into that.
Absolutely.
This is just tithing.
Absolutely.
What if he says being baptized and saved is not right?
Yeah.
So then it's a domino effect that
It's
he
a
can
domino
go down.
effect.
So I don't.
And it's a domino effect in other people's ministries.
Right, because they can look, and I'm just
Sons and
saying,
daughters of the ministry. I mean,
Right.
people follow
Follow
you.
you.
So he said that in the Old Testament is where it says pay 10%, but in the New Testament it leaves the exact amount up to giving to the individual. So he's saying we shouldn't give 10%. We should give. It's based on the individual, and you're supposed to pray and seek God's wisdom on how much you should give.
So and
Okay.
I don't want to go deep into this, but here's my thing about that. Tithing was before the law, so the law abolishing the law did not abolish tithe.
Right.
But here's the other thing. I think 10% is your base. The lowest.
The lowest that you
That's
can.
where you started.
That's
That's
your
your entry fee.
Right.
Right.
We just went out to dinner.
That's your earnest money.
Right.
To get your house.
We just went out to dinner after church.
Right.
And on the receipt,
right,
you could either tip
this,
18%, 20%, or 22. No, baby, 18%,
really,
20%, or 22. There is no more tipping 10%. And in most fancier, high-end restaurants,
there's no more 15.
There's no more 15.
Wow.
18, 20, or 22.
So I'm gonna give a restaurant 18%, but I'm gonna give God 10.
Right.
And I'm
gonna pay them for the food and give another additional.
Right.
And God feeds me every day.
Every day.
Make sure.
And you on grace.
He can miss me on that.
You can grace and mercy to go to this high-end restaurant.
Right.
Because everybody cannot do that.
And we know when we sit down to the restaurant
it's gonna
that we're going to have to give that service. But for bringing my plate out, and I have no problem with that. I never walk out without tipping. I do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to pray and seek God to give him 10%.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
And of course, everybody that doesn't tithe,
They
jump
all
on
on
this.
it.
Right.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
This is great.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like we
So
knew.
now you pulling back.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay.
We knew that preachers were
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
over on folk and all of that.
Just the excuse they needed.
Just the
Right.
excuse. Because I believe if you're tithing, you're just a tithing. You don't even care. Because you understand that every time you turn them lights on, somebody's got to pay for that.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
You understand that all the stuff they
The
take.
water, gas, light, insurance, whole 9
Everything.
yards. Right.
And because somebody said, they were against tithing anyway, because you're not actually giving to God, you're giving to the church. Duh, as they used to say.
Right.
I mean, come on
That
now.
is- that
What
is-
can you give? And you're not throwing it up in heaven.
Right.
However,
What can you give God that God cannot give?
I mean,
and
does
already
he care
give
about
you?
my little measly
Right.
time?
But he got
And-
it.
and-
He
and
just wants
since
you to be right.
And since I'm on this bandwagon,
Come on.
and I know y'all
Come
feeling
on.
me, chit chat,
Get
y'all
in your
know
soapbox. Come
I
on.
get a little passionate. I'm starting to sweat. I get a little passionate when I talk about this. Because I remember before Bishop and I got married, I said, I won't be married to no pastor. The first time he asked me, first two
Feel
times,
bad.
I
You
said
bad
no.
because-
I said, because I don't want them church folk
I know that's
taking
right.
care of me and having an attitude, right?
Right.
But what I learned over time is the value of ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that what your pastors, your spiritual leaders, what they do, you go see your doctor once every 6 months,
Right.
once every
Every
year
year.
for a checkup.
And if it's everything right, you don't see him until the following year.
Right.
Right.
You gonna pay whatever
Whatever,
the fee
right.
is.
The test, all of that.
You're gonna get insurance to make sure you can pay.
Right.
Right. And your spiritual leaders are there in the trenches with you every week.
Every week.
Mhm.
That's
Every
right.
week.
You're right.
And so I had to get a different mindset about that of feeling as if, I don't know, I just felt like, oh, I don't want to be at the mercy of people. But I know what we bring to the table. I know the investment of time, prayer. I pray for our members, and they may never know I'm praying. Different ones that come to my mind while I'm in my morning devotion. And I'm praying.
Right.
It is nothing like having a spiritual leader that you can count on. Are there those that have messed it up?
Just right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We don't pretend that.
Yeah.
But there are judges who have messed up, doctors who have messed up, lawyers who have messed up. You can, any profession that there is,
somebody has messed
there's
up.
somebody that has messed up, abused it, whatever. And we don't stop going to doctors.
No.
We just find us another doctor.
And we don't stop seeking lawyers.
We don't stop sleeping. We just, if that lawyer messes up, we just get us another lawyer. That's how we do.
That's right.
Right. And so I think that we have to really be careful of that.
And if you do get a pastor or a preacher that have lead you totally cuckoo for Cocoa Pops on the other side, well, you got a new doctor, get a new pastor.
Just get a new pastor.
It's a church
If you're
on
like
every
this,
corner.
if ever like this, and if that one don't work, just say, Lord,
Shop
guide
around.
me,
Guide me to the right one.
Get the right one. And then right with this.
Shalandra said, what if everybody got a bill at the end of service and had to put 18% gratuity on it?
See
You're
that?
right.
Yeah. And there we go.
You're right. You're
Right.
And even though I'm a pastor, we tied.
Right.
We tied into the same church. So, so we want to.
But you do that.
I know, but they should be if they not.
Right.
Because I'm tithing as my tithe to the Lord. So to me, I don't get a pass from tithing just because I'm the pastor.
Well, you believe you believe in God's word as much as you want your
Absolutely,
to believe in it. And so your example,
right?
Your example when you walk down today, and I saw you when you said you put it on,
put my seed right in there,
right there. Even with the phone, there you go.
Absolutely,
so
because I want to be blessed just like everybody else wants to be blessed.
But if they see you being blessed,
you lead by example.
at least let me get a little piece of that some kind of way.
Absolutely. So we're praying for Creflo.
Right.
We're praying for him because he has a great influence. He has a great following, and I just hate it for the people who are now confused. People who are now going to, if they are not tithe, they won't ever tithe. And what are you missing?
And miss your blessings.
Yeah.
Miss out on what
Miss
God
it.
wants you to have.
I don't know. And Shalandra said, but they paid $300 for a concert ticket. You better
Right.
know it.
Right.
You better
wait
know it.
Wait a minute. Tell her and a new outfit.
Right. All of that.
Nails, eyelashes, hair, everything. Don't miss on that point.
Freddie's telling me something. Freddie.
Tell the people bye.
Oh, Freddie said time to go. See how time flies by when we start chatting with everybody. Listen, you all, tonight's episode is going to be great. April Tolbert, Gabby Grace Boutique. Sit and listen. I hope you're inspired. maybe to start your own business. And I believe this is the season for entrepreneurship. Yeah, I do. And you don't have to be big. You don't have to, get a lot of overhead. But I think it's a great season for multiple streams of income. I really believe that. And we're going to be talking about that soon. So y'all have a great week. Terry's going to be here one more day.
One more day.
And we're just going to have some fun. And we got some Ebony's chicken salad. And it's going to be good. So that's your lunch tomorrow. I've already got your lunch ready for tomorrow. You all going over to Conversations with Linda and watch the episode. Y'all have a good